Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Nicole and I'm a part-time reseller on POSHMARK, and today I'm going to talk about two of the biggest problems that I see that POSHMARK has and things that really bother me to this day. One of them is a more newer feature, and then one of them has just been a problem for years that I feel like POSHMARK isn't doing anything about, and it's been a problem that a lot of people have emailed POSHMARK about, and that's why they have a flag, feature on POSHMARK so that you can report things like this. But I feel like still it feels like nothing is being done, and these things are just getting worse and worse. So I'm going to talk about both of those things in this video, and I just hope that POSHMARK listens to us when we talk about these things, because these are really things that can make the platform a lot better if they just fix them. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already subscribed, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button so you're here for every video that I put out. I put new videos out every Monday and Thursday on this channel, and I would love to have you around in the future for more. Okay, so the first one that I want to talk about is just something that's been bothering me recently, and it has to do with the Posh shows, and it has to do with the giveaways feature. So I made a video a couple months back when they released the giveaways feature, and I said that the giveaways was a big problem that they had on POSHMARK, because basically sellers were canceling orders for people that weren't bundling when they want a giveaway, or they were saying that it was free shipping only, and if you didn't purchase anything they would cancel. Things like that. And I complained about how I didn't like that this was happening, because I just thought it wasn't fair, because again, that was not the rule of the giveaway. The giveaway was supposed to be a free item and also free shipping towards anything. It didn't mean that you had to purchase as well. It was a giveaway for that reason. And so POSHMARK decided, oh, okay, after so much time, we're gonna actually change this so it's not that way anymore. But they actually ended up kind of making it worse, which I didn't think was possible. But now what happens is sellers can't cancel just a giveaway on POSHMARK. So if you win a giveaway in a live show, a seller can no longer cancel that. But now what is happening, as much as I wanted to think that was a great thing that they did, what's happening now is just sellers are just not shipping those items out, and they're waiting for it to hit that 21-day mark for the order to expire. I've actually had this happen twice now in a matter of like a week. So one of them was actually someone I knew, and basically they just waited until hand to ship out the order, and then I emailed POSHMARK letting them know, like, hey, I only won a giveaway, but the person never shipped, and I think they're purposefully delaying until hand because they don't want to ship it out. And POSHMARK says, oh, don't worry, if you don't get it within 7 days, you can cancel, but then it will automatically cancel after 21 days. And I think that's exactly what they wanted, because they just didn't want to ship it out. And that was apparent because it literally said in the listing, free with purchase or something. So they really wanted me to purchase. And so that's what they did. They waited the 21 days, and then the order automatically canceled on its own. And that's the way to get around it, where, you can't cancel it anymore. So the way to get around having to actually send it out is just wait for it to expire on its own. And then another one that I had was actually a very similar situation, where the seller just kind of never messaged me or anything, and then it just automatically canceled after 21 days. Now, I feel like this should definitely have some kind of penalty towards sellers. I don't think this is fair that this is happening. And I've emailed POSHMARK every time that I've had, either an order cancel on me like that, or just one of these, they're waiting for the period to cancel it. And I've emailed them every time, and they always tell me, rest assured that they're taking care of it, they're monitoring these accounts. But somehow I just find that there's more and more out there, so I just feel like they're not doing anything. And I just think this feature should have been something that was so great, and I just feel like it turned into quite the opposite. I don't know, I feel like the amount of pressure that sellers put on people to purchase with the giveaway, they're like, oh, if you don't purchase, I'm just gonna send you a sticker, but if you do purchase, I'm gonna send you this nice bag. It's like, why is there a difference? If you're doing a giveaway, you should know that ahead of time. And I think when I used to do giveaways, in the beginning, I would send it out regardless, whatever it was. And I wouldn't say, oh, if you don't purchase with me, I'm not going to send it out. And every single time I did a giveaway, I think it was 3 or 4 times, they never bundled. And I still sent it out every time because that was what you were supposed to do. But I stopped doing them because I found that it was just wasting my money, because I was sending out an item, no one was bundling, and so I was paying for the item and the shipping, and I just felt like it wasn't benefiting my closet that much. And so I just don't do them anymore at all. But I know a lot of people that do, and it helps them. But then there's people that are still breaking the rules and still deliberately going against what you're supposed to do. And I just don't think it's fair. I think Poshmark really needs to hold these people accountable because it's just getting out of hand. The second thing I wanted to talk about is something I know that bothers a lot of people on the platform, but I just figured I'd put it in this video as well because it's another huge problem, arguably probably the biggest problem on the platform, and that is the scammers. The scammers are just getting worse and worse, and they're just like infiltrating the platform like to the point where it's really unbearable. And so that goes with the people that are commenting when you first list an item, saying to send them pictures or that they can't see and that you need to email them or whatever the comment that they make. And then there's like people trying to pretend that they're Poshmark support, and so they'll be like, oh, this is Poshmark support, we're trying to contact you, blah 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 blah, and they have like a whole account that makes it look like they're Poshmark, or like they have the logo for Poshmark. And then there's a bunch of other people that are just, you know, scammers in general or whatever the case is. And I feel like these comments are getting out of control, these accounts are getting out of control. And I think a lot of people who have said like they go to follow people on Poshmark and then there's just all these bot spam accounts that are being created that are basically trying to scam other people. So I think something really needs to be done about this because it's just getting out of hand and it's getting really, really bad. And I'm sure with every other platform this is a very similar problem. But if Poshmark really wants to make their platform better, they need to get a hold on these spammers and scammers and things like that. So it's just something that has always been a problem ever since I started. They do target new accounts, but I still get a lot of those spam comments all the time, and I'm not a new account by any means. So I'm sure you've seen these comments and I hope that you've never fell for it, but if you are a new seller, if you see one of those kind of comments, definitely don't fall for it. It is a scam and it's just not good. Flag the account, flag the comment, and let Poshmark know what's going on. And hopefully Poshmark will do something about these accounts because it's just too much and it's really, you know, hurting the reputation of the platform. The scary part is I've really actually seen a few people that actually have messaged these people via email or phone number and gotten scammed out of them, and or maybe they like realized it once they emailed them. And so it's just like people don't know. And as much as I can make these videos telling people not to, you know, take things off platform or whatever the case is, maybe someone didn't come across my video, maybe they just didn't know and they fell for it and it was just too late. And I know people, like, in the rules of Poshmark it says don't take things off platform, but people still do because they don't know any better, especially if they're new. So Poshmark really needs to kind of help people out and like advertise that you shouldn't be doing this and really make sure people are aware that, hey, there are these scammers, we're looking into it, but in the meantime do not take things off platform because this could happen to you. And I think that would help them just have more success because they'll be monitoring people better and the Poshmark community is not going to get scammed anymore. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. These are two things that really have, you know, bothered me and I think are really big problems with the platform that I think they really need to address to make the platform even better and to have more success for everyone and for safety and all that. I just think they really need to, you know, have some better system in place to get rid of these scammers and like spam accounts because again, there are so many of them and it's just so easy to create them, and I think they're just taking over the platform and I think that is very, very dangerous. If you want to see another video on reasons why your listings aren't selling and what you can do to fix those, you can click right here. And if you want to see another video on some features that you should be using on Poshmark that will help you have success on the platform, you can click right here. But until next time, I will see you then.